I hope you guys are fresh and ready. We're going into the next round. Once again, 2 matches today, 2 best of 7s with world-class players. And Fortitude and 1-0 going to be our first 2 contestants, both at the moment with 1 point from their 1 win. And we'll see who gets the second win today. Fortitude definitely going into this one as the underdog. 1-0 has been looking absolutely incredible lately, and Fortitude barely made it in, barely squeaked in the end with kind of a tiebreaker last moment decision. The last encounter between the two, in fact... let's do it like this. The last encounter between the two, in fact, did go to Fortitude. Kind of surprisingly, I sort of forgot about that game. TP League in August. So Fortitude has proven that he can do it. Let's see how he's going to fare here. I certainly see 1-0 as the favorite. But Fortitude, also a great player, not to be underestimated. And we are starting off our best of 7 on Twisted Meadows. It's back in the map pool, boys, here in the Doubi Cup and also in some other tournaments. Very fun to see. And on the new Twisted Meadows, it's always cross-spawn. Both players will be aware of the opponent's starting position. It's an Archmage versus a Lich first opening. And this could be fast expansion on both sides. Possibly. Humans oftentimes like to go for the Merc camp early. It's a bit dangerous though on this map. If the opponent decides to harass you early, he can certainly try to go for that. The creep route, the expansion timings here will be very important. With the Lich first, oftentimes we see an instant expansion. And I think it's possible on this map. Especially if you creep the natural with 4 ghouls, it should be pretty easy to do. Then the expansion will be slowed down, but doable. Manageable. Okay, and 40 seems to want to go for the lab first, like we saw in the old days. Oh, he got ensnared. Yikes. That's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Oh, here come the boulders. Oh, crap. Thank you, by the way, follow Panta and Kamoki with the resub. Much appreciated. Oh, it's a rough start. One peasant goes down without enemy interference. And a second. Oof. Ouch. Well, it seems like 40 needs to practice this creep pull a bit more. This was certainly not ideal for him. Which in the meantime, going for his own fast expansion. Getting revealed right away. Ring of Regen. Oh my god, that's so good. Second best item after Claws of Attack. He's got the Ritual Dagger right away. It's also pretty cool. You can heal up right after. It's a new development we've been seeing. Oh, wow. 1-0, pretty greedy. Going for the Haunted before the Ziggurat. And bringing out ghouls as well. So instant expansion into Harass. But now he's low lumber. He can't make the next Ziggurat for a long time. So 1-0 is going to be supply blocked here very soon. Which means, this fast expansion might not even be the best build. We'll have to see about that. I think he pulled the ghouls too early. If he waited for 50 lumber and then pulled the ghouls, I think that would be much better. Oh, the Lich is here. Ready to steal the last hit. But not using the Nova yet. A lot of damage from the Archmage right away. He is very squishy. That's a big strength of the Lich early on. He can bully the Archmage like no other hero. The ghouls have to fall back. Now finally the Ziggurat is coming. But as you can see, Lolai... not Lolai. Nonsense. 1-0 might be supply stuck here in a moment. But he lost a ghoul, so he opens up some supply that way. Gets the item here as well. Oh, this is not a good start. Not a good start in the slightest. 40 is trying to get the Expo cancel, but I think he's going to be too late for both. The Ziggurat as well as the Haunted. This is this is a terrible start. Absolutely horrible start for Fortitude.
A player's forces are under attack.
He's taking now. Getting a tower to be safe. Militia have been called out to creep the green. But 1-0 left ghouls behind because he knew this was coming. And the rest of his forces are supposed to defend the expo. But he doesn't have that many forces here to speak of. But the AM's so hurt already. He has to run away from this Lich. That's for sure. Nero about to finish. And 1-0 looking to be in a perfect position here. More ghouls coming in from the main base. Lumber is still looking okay. Remaking these acolytes, of course. A couple of acolytes go down. And the water elementals are doing a decent job. But now the TP might be forced. Lich also taking some chip damage. This is where the ring comes in. Like I said earlier, this ring of regen, just amazing. Good movement on the AM, by the way. Threatening some right clicks, staying out of the range of the Lich. Fortitude is doing that quite well indeed. And now getting level 3 from the militia creep. And there will be at least one more water elemental being summoned here shortly. Also good saves on the ghouls though. Oh, nice snipe. Good control by 40. But it started off so bad with the first creep and then getting creep jacked over here. Ghouls even trying to find some more kills in the main base. Once the Lich gets level 3, this is going to get a lot harder for 40. The level 2 Nova is going to be extremely effective also once the Lich has time to get New Rod of Necromancy. Which will be the case soon, one would think. But the Archmage has been able to get quite a few kills indeed. 3.5 now. His experience. And 1-0's tech is extremely delayed. And so are Fiends. I feel like he needs to start a graveyard instantly. Yeah, not having made the graveyard yet, I think is the biggest mistake. 1-0 has so many ghouls queued, but didn't start a graveyard. Which means Fiends are still far, far away. And this is a concern. Because on tier 2, with a push, with possible more teams perhaps even, the human can try to crack this expansion. When there's no Fiends, it's much harder for the Under to hold on. Only now the graveyard. This is a big macro mistake by 1-0. Forgetting about the graveyard for so long. But the expansion is standing. Fully mining. Nicely protected. Got the Necropolis as well. To remake some acolytes. And theme production will soon begin from Double Crypt. Lich now with the boots and the staff, but the Archmage is further ahead in experience. He's still very concerned about the Lich. And this is the big strength of the Lich. The AM always has to be extremely careful with how far forward he goes. Because the Nova, the slow, the right clicks, all very scary from the Lich. And with the MK coming out, finally there's a good answer to try to deal with these ghouls effectively. And the Lich is still far away from level 4. That's really the big power spike for the Lich. Once he hits level 4, for that level 2 Dark Ritual, it's so much mana that he has to work with. Now we see the Fiend production beginning. 1-0 upgrades instantly. More towers at the Expo as well. This one should definitely be upgraded into a Spirit Tower, I would say. You can see the effectiveness of the Nova, especially against footies. Excellent. That one could have been denied, perhaps. And 40 going for a very early push. Normally we would see the MK creeping first to get at least level 2, maybe level 3. But here he's being super aggressive with only footies and level 1 MK. Not even casters here, not even rifles here. This seems too early of a push, if you ask me. 1-0 nicely responding, by the way, with the Dark Ritual. When a Fiend gets Stormbolted, he eats it right away for lots of mana. It's pretty expensive, of course. The Fiend's, you know, 215 gold. But its experience being denied, which is also a big deal here once again. So many denies by 1-0. So this MK is going to be very underleveled for a long time. And 1-0 rushing tier 3 over here. Feeling very confident. Doesn't even feel the need to go for a slaughterhouse first. His lumber's kind of low. Ooh, AM now. Very hurt. Finally, we have a priest in the mix and the first rifleman. Another deny. One deny after the next 1-0, looking really good here. And Fortitude, honestly, on map 1, looking a bit lost. Perhaps that's a unfair statement. He just doesn't seem to be quite on the same level as Fortitude, as 1-0. It's only the first map, of course. This is a best of 7. This is a long series. And it's a bit of a weird map as well. For nowadays standards. Archmage survives, but the last hit was stolen. No, oh, it wasn't. Oh, he missed it. I thought he got it, but he didn't. MK almost dead. Goes for the heal scroll. Fiend eaten. More mana again. Heal scroll used. The MK here still in trouble. The Fiend's without statues, not that strong yet. But the MK might be going down here, and 40's going to call it GG. And the first map goes to the favorite, 1-0. Gets on the board right away. I feel like the lab creep isn't the right creep route. Of course, when you mess up the pull, it becomes even worse. But nowadays, almost no undead plays Ted Fiend build anymore. Especially 1-0. Normally never plays Ted Fiend build against human anymore. And when they don't play Ted Fiends, they play a ghoul build with a lich. They're creeping early, and they leave you alone. In that case, you can go for the lab safely. So I think 40 should have rather gone for the lab first. Pick up the Shadow Priest, get the Berserker after. And then it could have been a different game. But yeah, rough start there. For sure. Later on, of course, also we'll be seeing Happy versus Colorful. We've seen Happy quite a bit already. In the last 2 playdays, he was facing Lin and Moon. 2 of the best players in the world. Colorful also among those top players. Happy with a chance to pull pretty far ahead with a 3rd win if he gets that later. 1-0 wants to stay on Happy's heels. 1-0 and Happy both have been looking extremely strong, extremely successful lately. In fact, they are rank 1 and 2 globally in the ELO standings. We're struggling a bit with the lobby at the moment. Seems like we got some connection bugs. We're trying to fix it. Oh, that one failed. All right, next try. This one seems to be working out quite well. All right, we are ready. Map number 2. Map 1 was a very one-sided stomp. There was like no chance, honestly. The timing worked out really poorly there. Archmage creeping the lab first and then going over to the green. Getting Jack at the green, losing the last hit. AM having to run. In the meantime, the expansion is coming up for 1-0. It's also a big strength of the Lich. You can expand early, get that level 2 fast, keep spamming Dark Ritual and Sacrificial Dagger. Ritual Dagger, I mean, if you need. And heal up, get the mana, and you can pressure really well. Nova against the Footy is very effective. Right clicks and Nova against the Archmage. Very effective. As the human there, you have to have a really well timed out build. On Tidehunters, this map has been played much more recently, so perhaps here the builds are going to be crisper for Fortitude. He's going to be facing a Lich first again. No surprise here. Happy was the one to really bring this build to the forefront, but he was not the pioneer. You guys know who the pioneer of this Lich first fast expansion was? Labyrinth. That's right. We saw him on Sunday in the grand finals, almost beating Happy. That would have been so sick. But, not quite able to get that W in the end. But he impressed us all. And he showed us how a Lich first fast expo can work. On this map, it's pretty easy. You can creep this camp first. Not hard to do at all. And the Lich can run across the map and be aggressive against the peasants, against the Archmage. And the human has to be on point right away. You can't slip up against that Lich.
A player's forces are under attack.
No Ritual Dagger this time. This expansion is certainly quite a bit easier to take out. Oh, the Footy ran to the main base, triggered Nerub Tower, and then 1-0 cancelled the Nerub. Archmage starts off with a Circlet. That's good. Circlet and Claws. Best by far. Ring +3. Not that good. Honestly, it does help a little bit against the Lich, because you will always be getting Nova and right-clicked. Thank you, 7G, with the resub. Forty waiting for the gold here for the Town Hall. He's almost got it. But the Lich is ready to go for the attack here in a moment. I am getting good experience. How much is he going to have in the end? 438. First Nova hits the Footies. That means at least, though, it doesn't hit the Archmage and doesn't hit the Peasants. But of course, we're going to have plenty of Novas thanks to the Dark Ritual. More Militia coming in from the main base. And here's the next Nova. Oh. This is hurting quite a bit once again. You can see how much 1-0 is prioritizing. Always keep putting pressure on the Archmage. Lesser Undeads would just be attacking the Footies and the Peasants. But you also always want to be pressuring the AM to not allow him to put in too much free damage. Lich got a couple of kills. I think 2 Peasants. Maybe 3. So, it's not the worst for 40. But the thing is, his expansion is certainly delayed. Only now the power build beginning. And 1-0's expansion close to finished. 40 looking for the opening to possibly get the cancel still. Oh, if he has the time. But it's dangerous. To run to that Nerub Tower is quite dangerous indeed. But this counterattack of Fortitude looking not too bad. This is the downside of the ghouls. If you're only defending with ghouls and a low HP hero, it's not that strong normally, especially if there are level 2 water elementals. Which we don't have yet, but might get soon. You can see how important these denies are. Archmage tried to get that one, didn't quite manage to. Level 3 level up is going to be huge on both sides. Ghouls were trying to punish the peasants, but the militia were already called. Nicely done by 40. This game is looking much more competitive now. And this time we have an early graveyard. I like this adjustment by 1-0. We can go into Fiends way faster. The Ziggurat seems a bit too early, but fair enough. AM gets the kill, gets level 3. If he picks up boots here, he's going to be quite dangerous. And he's been able to find quite a few pickoffs indeed. Everything a bit hurt here on the side of 1-0. Needs some more corpses, needs some more skellies to heal up with the Ritual Dagger as well. And still not fully mining from the expansion. Seems like Acolyte production was a bit slow. And so the export timing is almost the same. More or less. And here comes the AM again, ready for the harass. Might be able to get the Ziggurat. Yeah, he certainly will. Good damage from the level 2 water elementals. Level 2 Nova on the Lich. Very good against these footies, obviously. But he doesn't have that much mana at the moment. More corpses are close by. Can go for more Dark Ritual. This is not the worst early game for Fortitude. He can also start the tech. Must not forget the tech. And here we go. Tech begins. Undead tech a little bit further ahead, though. 40 wants more kills, and get some of them. Level 2 Water Elementals proving again to be very good against the ghouls. Committing in quite deep for this kill. AM hurt. This is scary. If the Lich eats a ghoul, maybe he has the mana for a Nova, but doesn't do it here. Quite a few footies were also sacrificed here, so you can see the Lich's experience increasing. And once he gets to level 4, as we all know with a Dark Ritual, level 2, things get scary. The big problem with playing 2-base as human is always the Undead is going to have normally the stronger army in the mid-game, with Fiends coming out right away, statues and so on, whereas the human oftentimes has to wait a long time for Knights to finally be able to fight. That's why I posed the question if it might not be a good idea to start playing Rifles into Knights. Rifles first, double racks, just to have some kind of army in the mid-game, and then go Knights later on tier 3. But I seem to be the only one who feels like that might be good. I've not seen anybody really try this yet. And I'm not sure that it would be good. I just feel like it might be worth considering. Blacksmith coming up now. Seems a bit late. And Lich level 4 is ready.
Players' forces are under attack.
Footy's having a very tough time. The AoE of the Frost Nova very strong against them indeed. 3 towers at the expansion, 1 in the main base seems to be a good spray. Oh, and we see Masonry upgrade by 40. Is he thinking about going tanks, perhaps?
A player's forces are under attack.
He might be. One to 0 didn't go for a second crypt, which is very weird. Normally we always see second crypt from the undead on 2 base. More and more denies. Very nice to see that both players are on point with that detail. Tier 3 rush. MK second. Here comes the second Rax. Not much of an army at all at the moment for 40. Oh, I like this. He goes for the lab, picks up the shredder, and with the shredder he can creep this, and later on he's going to have all the lumber he needs. That also means he can call tons of militia if he has the shredder. Knights and Gyros can do quite well against Lich first because there is no frost armor. Oh, but look at the creepjack here. By 1 to 0, running across the entire map, looking for a creepjack even before aura and before he has statues. Kind of an unusual timing. Oh, triple kill with the Nova. Bam! It's the 2 footies and the creep. And that's what I was talking about. The human at this stage in the game, he just doesn't have many units at all. He just has footies, and he's skipping everything until knights. And again, I wonder if not early rifles might be better. Of course, the problem is, if the night rifles all get hit by the Nova, is that gonna be, you know, feasible? I don't know. But anyways, tier 3 will be finishing. 1-0 already on tier 3. Frenzy is coming. He did go for the second racks after all. Second slaughterhouse, also something we would sometimes see, but not here. I feel like 1-0 perhaps a bit too low on production buildings. But we'll see how that works out. Fortitude had a pretty good early game, so his tech wasn't far behind, so he will have a decent knight army out by the time that 1-0 can go for the push. Because, of course, if 1-0 wants to push, he has to wait for Frenzy first. Which is now finished. Doesn't have too many ghouls on lumber anymore, by the way. Also, he's level 2 in the DK, which he'll get in a moment. But the Lich about to get level 5. And that is one of the craziest levels in the game. Level 5 Lich with level 3 Nova and level 2 Dark Ritual. Level 3 Nova is crazy good. And with Dark Ritual, it's oftentimes endless mana. Fortitude scouting with the gyros. Needs to make sure to not get these webbed and killed. And we see a Dreadlord. The Dreadlord 3rd. Okay. For sleep. And later Carrion against the flying machines, maybe.
A player's forces are under attack.
Fortitude's looking a bit underleveled here. Especially the MK needs more experience. Oh, he's gonna get the last hit. If the Lich steals it, that would be sick. But no, goes to the MK. Good TP out. No knights are gonna fall, but you can see the strength of the level 3 Nova right away. And we got the Orb of Fire, we got the Staff. And a big army for 40. 70 supply. MK goes clap. That makes sense. In this 2-base kind of game, that the army is always going to be huge, so the AoE of clap is very helpful. Level 3 Nova again, looking very strong indeed. Good upgrades on the knights. How many knights do we have? 3 knights only. Not that many. 2 more coming in from the main base. Okay, 40. Might be able to win this fight here. Sleep on the Archmage. But woken up as well. One knight might be going down, but Militia also coming in from the main base. Good fight for 40. One knight traded for 2 fiends, I believe it was. And a TP also forced. Beneficial trade for 40, but he still needs more levels. Pally and MK very underleveled. By the way, he found the Devotion, of course, which is really nice. That means that the Paladin can freely go for Divine Shield. Oh, he's creeping with the Archmage here. I don't like that. He's wasting a lot of experience. Militia moving out, or peasants rather moving out towards the expansion, going for a 3rd base perhaps. Alrighty. Would love to see these peasants back in the main to be called to militia form, if needed. Red camp will go to 1-0. Oh, the gyros. Need to be careful with those. These are valuable camps right now for Fortitude. Getting this turtle camp should be level 3 MK for sure. Maybe even level 2 Pally. Archmage should really not soak up experience here. This must be a mistake. This is so much experience being wasted on the Archmage. Because of that, the MK now isn't level 3. Picks up the heal potion. A lot of peasants going down here, thanks to the Nova.
player's
40 wants
forces
to creep
are
up a
under
bit more. He's got a good number of knights now. 2 upgraded as well. Quite strong indeed. If the blacksmith falls, of course, that means no more knights. And 40 is quite broke at the moment. Oh, the ghoul run by happening towards the third base. 1-0 seems to smell it. Towers are close to finished. Another TP home. MK finally got level 3. But a big Nova onto all the knights. Carrion Swarm used as well, but it's only level 1 Carrion. Scroll the Beast as well. Ooh, that's so much damage. The Knights getting slowed down by the Nova. The Nova proving to be so strong here once again. These Knights, though, very mismicroed. You have to put them on the Fiends. Not on the A-bombs. But he gets the Dreadlord, actually. 1-0 there, making a mistake. Didn't have an Invul Potion on the Dreadlord. You definitely need to have one. And attacking the A-bomb, that cost him a lot of time. Now finally he makes it towards the Fiends. DK also Stormbolted up. Needs to TP out. Woof. Heal Scroll, I think, was used there to keep the DK alive. In the meantime, ghouls in the main base. Took out the peasants there that were mining. The third base is finished, but Fortitude lost a lot of units. And 1-0 still has a huge army left over. Definitely a macro mistake, I'd say, by 1-0 to not have more upgrades on the Fiends. He could be at least at 3-1 at the moment. If the Pally gets to 3, this would be a huge level up. Needs more clarities. Gets another staff as well. Oh, no gold mining at the moment in the main base. And 1-0 doesn't know about the third. If he knew about it, he could easily kill it. These acolytes are very confused. What's going on here? He's not mining in the main base. And he's not making a haunted. Okay, now he is. Now finally we see destroyers, so gyros will be needed. And now we do have 3 base income. If Fortitude could just be left alone now for 3 minutes, he would have a super strong, big army. But of course, right now is when 1-0 is going to strike. If Fortitude can hold here, he might be in a good position. But it's not going to be an easy hold. Goes in the main base again. This run-by is pretty nice. Punishing the fact that there's no guard towers in the main. Nova. Lots of damage on these knights. Alright, ghouls were dealt with. The Shredder here also a big help. When's 40 gonna engage? I think he's got the double staff. Yes. Both staffs used, but these knights are still out of the fight for quite some time. 40 doesn't want to engage yet. Not yet. Is now the time? No. He's going back and forth. He's allowing the towers to buy the time for the proper engagement. The Stormbolt's very weird, though. On the Fiends, way in the back. Yeah, I think you should just be using Clap here, not Stormbolt. And there's no flak cannons, by the way, on these gyros, but the Clap is looking really good. Normal damage against the Fiends, working out well, of course, from the Knights as so often. But the Knights also quickly getting taken out. Level up right here. Level 3 Pally, level 2 Holy Light now. Very strong. Kills off the Droid again. This Dreadlord, gotta be honest, hasn't looked so good just yet. But the gyros seem to be winning the air fight. MK's got more mana. He used the mana potion here just a second ago. One more Fiend getting taken out of the supply. Suddenly in favor of 40. 1-0's third base also going to be finished in a moment. And he went for the Banshee tech earlier. Didn't start making any yet. But 40 not in the worst position. 1-0 definitely made one big mistake of not scouting this third base early enough. He had a big map control lead earlier and he could have destroyed this expansion easily. But he missed the scout. And 40's back up at 80 supply. Would love to see a shop here at the expansion somewhere. It's one thing 40's forgetting about. Same as flak cannons. But the Knight damage looking really good. The Fiends That's also a mistake by 1-0. Like I mentioned earlier, not upgraded well enough. These Fiends should be at 2-2 at the least. Probably more like at 3-2 upgrades now. And the Pally's back in. Ready for more Holy Light, but the MK is very low mana here. Only has one more clap left. And all of a sudden, there's not enough Knights anymore, as it seems. Oh, Lich! In trouble as well. Holy Light right clicks. Whoosh! Almost goes down. TP on the ground. And Lich gets out. Supply still dead even. Expansion now kind of exposed. Fortitude, does he know about it though? He doesn't have a TP. Okay. So it's too risky to attack the expansion without a TP scroll. Can get that now though. And lots of gold on 40. He needs to set up a shop. This expansion is his late game lifeline. But of course it's easier said than done. This game is pretty hectic, pretty complicated. We even see tanks now. Also attack upgrades for the gyros and tanks would be a good idea. Both players struggling a bit with the macro. It's by no means perfect macro on either side. The answer of the tanks is they take up lots of supply, so there's a lot of army that's missing. Dark Ritual level 3 on the Lich, by the way. This is so much mana you can get from the Dark Ritual. If he eats a Fiend, he gets 500 mana. That's so crazy. If he eats an A-Bomb, he gets 1,150 mana. MK no mana anymore. You can see it. He eats the Fiend. Full mana again. Level 5 Lich. Quite crazy. Archmage! Almost goes down. Last second Holy. Where are the tanks, by the way? They are at the expansion. And they seem to be getting taken out. And of course they give lots of experience as well. Redlord level 3. He has been the most disappointing of all the heroes on the field so far. 40 has 83 supply, but you can't see it because it's tanks. These tanks, I'm really not sure if they were the right call. So much wasted supply. Fire on the DK at the moment, trying to force that TP. MK very low HP, needs to be staffed out soon. Real soon. Whew, heal pot! Barely saves the Pally right here. But this fight goes to the undead forces. And the tank has been taken out and the Haunted did not fall. 1-0 has absolutely no lumber, however. And the shop, again, the shop is missing. Now it comes. This is 4 minutes late. 40's still rich. Honestly, he could afford losing this expansion. And then building it up again. He's making so many tanks. I gotta feel like that's a mistake. Alright, shop finally finished. Still lots of gold on 40 here. Tanks buying time, but they give... Oh! Both surrounded? Sort of. Especially because there's a Dreadlord as well. It seems like these tanks are not working out. Oh, the staff, though. Oh, okay. That was a nice double save with the staff. But that is a pretty long cooldown on the staff, of course. We got more knights coming as well. Almost 100 supply for 40. But of course we must remember, lots of that is tanks, which doesn't help in the actual fight.
Players' forces are under attack.
Nova Carrion. So much damage. Not too many heal scrolls at all. Only the single one on the human side. We'd love to see more of those heal scrolls, honestly. Oh, the clap is sick, though. 1-0 had the heal scroll. DK almost level 5. It's going to be a big level up here in a moment. And where are the heal scrolls? They're needed so badly. Good staff play, though. The heal scrolls are kind of missing, but the staff is looking good. TP home by 1-0. Wants to deal with the tanks, I believe. The tanks actually get the kill. Perhaps I was wrong. They do have barrage upgrade, by the way. That's level 5 DK. The nuke is now super scary. Coil Nova Carrion Swarm. Oh, and the expansion is mined out, by the way. WC3 has no mining base at the moment. Fortitude at the moment on 3 mining bases, but that's also 2 of them gonna run out soon. Haunted gonna be cancelled once more. Gyros come back in. The Destroyer's taking out the Lich. Is going down as well. 40 has done it. God damn. Taking out the Lich and the expansion here. That should be the game winner for him. I was very doubtful about the tanks. I feel like if there was a Narrow here and more Frenzy Ghouls, this would have been a better defense for 1-0. But nicely done by 40. Definitely quite a few mistakes, to be honest, by 1-0. Not enough upgrades, not scouting the expansion fast enough, not going for a third fast enough, not building enough towers there. Definitely not a flawless game by the Undead. And Fortitude is taking the victory lap right here. He's enjoying this game now. Very strong heroes all of a sudden. The Dreadlord going to be taken out. This Dreadlord, quite disappointing. Did not look very strong at all. And 40 ties it up. Fun game though. Nice back and forth. I think the most important stage to make sure that 40 didn't fall too far behind was the early game. Taking not too much damage from the first Lich attack. Having a good amount of peasants and lumber, so he could keep up with the tech, could build the big army to contest the Undead. The big concern is always when the Undead does too much damage in the early game and then the human tech is too slow. But here, that looked quite good indeed. Yeah, 1-0 with some clear mistakes. He had full map control for a time. If with that full map control he just goes for a third base, goes for tons of upgrades, and prevents the enemy third, he should easily win that game. Also, I feel like he didn't always have enough A-bombs. Normally there, in that late game scenario, want to have at least 1 A-bomb at all times. Probably even 2 A-bombs. Because that makes it way harder for the human to micro the knights. If there's no A-bombs, you can just have all the knights on A-click. Because they either attack heroes or fiends, which is both fine. But if they attack A-bombs, that's very bad. And also, when the Lich hit level 6, maybe he should have gone for Frost Armor. I feel like level 2 Dark Ritual might be enough to have endless mana. But Frost Armor is a big help against the Knights. Especially on the Dreadlord. Most importantly, on the Dreadlord. There was no Disease Cloud. True. I don't think Disease Cloud matters, though. It's not that much damage on Knights, in my opinion. Knights have a high HP pool. They have some natural regen. Thank you, Lesher, with the 15-month resub. Also, Manic Marine with the resub, and Platin89 with the 15-month resub says, it is getting hard to find new compliments and praise for you guys. Thank you for consistently great entertainment. BGW Hype. Thank you very much. What would have been a better third hero than Dreadlord? Dark Ranger is always a possible choice. I don't think there's a very good, perfect choice. Even Cryptlord could perhaps be good against Knights, although questionable. I'm just a big Cryptlord fanboy, so probably that's why. Pitlord could be good. I think there's not a very, very good third hero option for Undead. If you play more Destroyers, and if you micro them a bit better, and you go heavier on air, then Dreadlord is the best, if you get level 3 and level 2 Carrion against the Gyros. But I think that may have been his initial idea. But you know, in these big fights, it's really hard to micro that army perfectly. Kite the Fiends, Focus Fire, Statue, pull back, Destroyer targeting, pull them back as well. Shift click one after the next, Heal Scrolls, Coils, Nova, Carrion Swarm. It's really hard to micro all that perfectly. And, you know, even one of the best in the world, 1-0, not able to micro it perfectly. It's just too hard for everyone except Happy. Happy does micro those things perfectly. We're about to get ready for our next map, Concealed Hill, for map number 3. One to 0 AFK at the moment, it seems like. Oh, okay, there he is. It would be quite the surprise if Fortitude gets the win here in the end. I still see 1-0 as the big favorite here. But Fortitude played a good game right there. Absolutely did. And the Lich Fast expansion seems to be 1-0's strongest strat at the moment. And it might not be playable on every map. Especially the next one that we're going to right now. Concealed Hill. Normally very hard to fast expand on. If 40 allows 1-0 to take the natural, of course it's doable, but it's very dangerous. If the human shows up to harass, there's no way the undead can fast expand here. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think on this map, human should play one base. Because every undead here plays ghoul build. And whether it's a Lich ghoul build or a DK ghoul build, against both, one base is good. One base, inner fire, rifles. One base, inner fire, rifles is bad against the Tet Fiend build, because the undead gets to a very strong late game army very easily, you know, with the Fiend opening and all that. But with the ghoul build, it's different. And come to think of it, on this map specifically, you could go for a lab creep first. Because, you know, undeads all do the ghoul build, so they don't harass. Do the lab creep first. And maybe this camp after. Then this camp or something. Militia creep this. And boom, you're level 3. Thank you, Lesher, with the resub, and Dumbledorko with the 8 months. MK first, he says. Well, we have no MK first here. Chimiko showed us a lot of MK first yesterday against Orc. With pretty good success. Didn't quite win the series against Lin in the end, but he got very close and he had a chance to do it as well. In fact, it was this map, Concealed Hill, where he kind of threw the game away. Is he gonna creep the natural first? No way, right? Unusual creep route here by 40. Creeping the green first, so he only needs 3 militia. Saves lots of lumber. Fully confirms the village first. Oh, okay. Second round of militia. 5 of them. Trying to expand early before the Lich is ready for the attack. And that timing is going to work out, but... Okay, what is there? Just going to go for his own expansion. Pretty good item for the Archmage. More damage and more HP to survive the Nova. Alright, so it's going to be double fast expansion once more. Alright, Archmage running across the map. Can he get the cancel here? He's not going to be level 3, so that's going to make things harder. Whereas the Lich is going to pick up a level 3 here very quickly. Oh, the ghoul? Oh! Use the ghoul to the creeps. That was far from ideal. Oh, and the AM is about to arrive. Ritual Dagger. Purchased early, but might get cancelled right away. But this is so many Novas. Picks up the tome as well. With a Nova, Lich should be able to clean this up, but the AM knows that there's no mana for a Nova at the moment. Oh, scary time right here. Oh my god, the Lich almost goes down. Use the Nova though! Ate the Lich! Oh, both heroes fall! Both heroes go down. 2 footies get away. Is there enough damage to cancel the Haunted? I don't really think so. In the meantime... Oh! 2 ghouls! I missed it! 2 ghouls were in the south, cancelled the expansion there. Oh, and that means 1-0 is far ahead. Does he get the Haunted? Does he get the Haunted? 140 HP. No, he's not getting it. He's not getting it. The key play here for 1-0 was actually sending out these 2 ghouls. These 2 ghouls are winning the game for him right now. Tavern Res on the Archmage. Lich is coming back the old-fashioned way. We got a Narrow Tower now. We got Acolytes ready to repair. And the AM is super hurt. Nicely done by 1-0. Oh! And he gets the surround! With just pure ghouls against Archmage. Now yes, TP.
A player's forces
Oh,
are under attack.
terrible position. Terrible position for 40. More ghouls are moving out. Archmage needs to heal at the fountain. And he will be allowed to do so. But Lich is going to be back in just a moment. Expansion here will be fully mining as well. And then the tech
Player's
can
forces
begin
are under attack.
very soon. These little footy attacks, a bit questionable. Feels like the Archmage should rather be creeping right now and get that level 3.
Town is under siege.
Because 3 footies do nothing against the Narrow Tower and a couple of ghouls. Couple of questionable decisions here by Fortitude. Oh, and ghouls again active in the south. Militia here trying to defend. And look at the experience on the Lich. Of course, he got the experience from the hero kill earlier.
A player's forces are under
Close to level 4. That is scary.
A town is under siege.
Ghouls will now be pushed back at least, and the expansion is mining for 40. But the tech has begun for 1-0. How much lumber is there on Fortitude side? Lumber's actually... Oh! Kind of surprised to see the lumber looking this good. So 40 can follow up with a tech here in just a second. Now he's finally creeping the green. But yeah, I feel like they should have done this quite a bit earlier. One more kill for the level 3. He's so close. 1-0 isn't allowing it. Oh no, he got it. That was a big deal. Finally got that level 3. The ghouls are moving out again. Lots of macro here. Or not macro, what's it called? Multitasking, I suppose. Little run-by plays. And the tech difference, not that huge. Once again, it is a bit more than on Tidehunters, I think. But these ghouls are very annoying. And Lich now only 1 kill away from level 4. He'll have that very soon. AM has to return home. Deal with the ghouls. Honestly, this attack didn't do that much. Just got 2 peasants, I think. Oh, and here we go. Lich level 4. This is where the fun begins. Nice block. Good move there. Tier 2 finished, 1-0. We would expect to go Tier 3 right away, and he does. DK coming, Tier 3 as well. Slaughterhouse should be next. Ooh, the Archmage. Wait, he doesn't have a TP! But neither does the Lich. Oh. Both first heroes flirting with danger again. Fortitude with lots of gold. And a decent amount of lumber. Rushing Tier 3 right away. MK as well. Healing at the shop. Now I can go for potions. Wanted to just ate his fiend. Just ate his fiend. And suddenly 500 mana. Thanks to Pendant of Energy. Yeah, level 2 Dark Ritual. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy.
A player's forces are under attack.
Lich now quite hurt, but the DK is coming in. And he does have skellies as well. MK arrives, looking for some counter kills against these fiends, but there's always Dark Ritual. 1-0 has really perfected the way of abusing this Dark Ritual as much as he can.
A town is under siege.
And 40 again has to patiently wait for the Tier 3. Knights will be very strong against these fiends, as of course there is again no frost armor. Some fiends are falling, but 40 never gets the experience. They're always getting denied. No, perhaps I'll get this one. Oh, but there's a coil. And the AM needs to get a potion fast. At long last, the MK will get some experience here. Picks up a fiend. Lots of fiends have gone down. Albeit lots of them have been denied. Oh, the Skelly summoned into the block. Doesn't TP. Oh, 40. Another Archmage loss. And this one was definitely preventable. Sick block though by 1-0. Uses the rod. Gets the Skellies in front and blocks with him. now the Archmage has to be tapped and revived. That's expensive. Fortitude way down in supply. 1-0 already up at 62. And there's no towers at the expansion. This might just be a simple push that wins the game. Don't even have a third hero here. Wait, he doesn't have Frenzy. Oh, now he does. He just finished. Oh, dead with the MK. He's just dead. And 40 has nothing. 40 has nothing to defend with here. He kind of forgot about the knights. Oh no, he's got 2. Okay. But that might not be fast enough. And that's the GG. Fortitude makes it further than on map 1, but here also 1-0 clearly in charge. The Lich, with level 4, when he's got the expansion, he's got those many resources to keep on using Dark Ritual. It's so strong. It's a bit too strong, honestly, that level 2 Dark Ritual. But yeah, 1-0 playing it very well. And I feel like on this map, I say it again, Concealed Hill, I think you should play 1 base as human. But that map is now done and dusted. We'll go on to map number 4 with 1-0 in the lead. And for that, we're going to have Echo Isles. This is another excellent fast expansion map. We have seen before that one of the strongest counters against the Lich is actually a Paladin first. Paladin first doesn't work on every map. You ideally want to have a Merc camp. You need to have a good level 3 creep route. Fairly easy expansion. All that is the case on Echo Isles. I think this would be the perfect time to play Pally first. Chimiko especially showed how strong that can be. But I'm not sure that I've ever seen 40 play this. Has Fortitude ever played Paladin first? I'm not sure. Well, let's take a look. One to 0 now with a 2-1 lead. He is the favorite coming into this game. .40 with the altar pointing towards the green camp. Normally most humans here go for the Merc camp creep first, then the green, then the natural. That's a perfect level 3 with Mercs on the way. That's basically the perfect opening for humans, so I'm very surprised to see that 40 wants to go for this green camp. What does that mean? Archmage. Yeah, I feel like Fortitude is not with the times. I think on the good Pally maps, I think you have to play Pally, honestly. It's a very specific hero. Whoa! That's a DK. DK first. Oh, it looks like 1-0 is expecting the Merc camp first. Wants to steal the Shadow Priest here. And perhaps, for that reason, Fortitude isn't giving him the opening. Interesting. The DK might just play expansion himself. But when there's a DK and no Lich, that means the Archmage has a way easier time. DK will not just throw coils endlessly on the Archmage, because firstly he needs to heal his units, and secondly, he doesn't have endless mana. Gonna be an instant expansion by 1-0 again. I wonder if he's gonna skip the ziggurat once more. Seems like he will. Yeah. Interesting. Haunted Goldmine first. And he got the Shadow Priest. Level 2 for the Archmage. Parry app for him, not bad actually. Oh, and he got a kill somewhere. Oh, the Acolyte killed a peasant, I think it was. That's what gave level 2 to the DK. And that's now the aura unlocked. And at least one more peasant going down. Oh, 40 again. Taking quite a bit of damage here. In the meantime, the expansion is coming. One to 0 again seems to be in full control. The Berserker is a big pickup. He's going to provide lots of damage now against the ghouls. That helps a lot. But of course, the expansion is so much faster on the undead side.
A player's forces are under attack.
And the early graveyard? No. Early second crypt. Whoa. Interesting. So 1-0 may want to play just endless hit and run. It's very unusual. Quite a bit of damage here on the Archmage, but he gets the level 3. DK, by the way, doesn't have a TP here, so if he gets surrounded, that could be very scary.
A player's forces are under attack.
Wait a minute. Militia running across the map. Hello. 40 is going for an all-in push against the expansion, it seems like. 1-0 sending out ghouls to counterattack into the main. Very smart. This is genius. Seeing this attack early, sending out the counter instantly. And 1-0 just starts the tech instead. He's ready to give up the expansion. Tech is on the way. He's not even going to attempt to defend this, I think. Maybe just look for 1 or 2 kills. And repair to buy time. Alright, here come the ghouls. Can the militia win the fight? I think they might be able to. Interestingly, this fight is more important than this fight. Oh, the DK also looking for more kills here. This Berserker gives lots of experience, and he got it. The Shadow Priest falls, the ghoul goes down as well. And, okay, maybe I overestimated the effect of this play, because the ghouls can't win the fight. Acolytes sort of evacuated. DK took quite a bit of damage here. Of course, the big advantage now is the tech lead. Fortitude could perhaps expand here. I think he's gonna, right? For the peasants? Interesting game. A few more peasants going down. Lots of ghouls here looking for more kills. DK close to level 3. Needs 2 more peasants to get the level up. Second tower coming in the main. 1-0 knows that push is going to continue from the Archmage. DK runs into the base where he might be getting trapped. Level 3 now. Level 2 coil. Oh, clutch. To fully heal up that one ghoul again. But the militia are holding fairly well so far. Oh, another coil comes in. But the militia will clean this up over time, I think. In the meantime, we have so many ghouls. Dude, I think 40 is winning this. Or is he? Such a weird game. Well, the Skellies. The Skellies actually make things difficult now. Acolytes moving out. Acolytes attacking the Archmage. This is so weird, dude. Are you kidding me? Both heroes getting a good amount of experience. Dude, cannibalize! Cannibalize would be so sick. That's what he needs right now. Needs cannibalize to heal the ghouls. Oh, but the Archmage getting chased as well. But the footies are very strong. He's taking out all the Nerobs and stuff. But he had the supply somehow to make a Lich before the Nerob fell. The first one. DK chasing the Archmage. What a weird game. Very fun, very unusual. Oh, the footy's now going for the altar. Oh, that was too late. You should have done that earlier. The Acolyte's ready for the repair. That should easily buy the time necessary, I think. Oh, there's a Mud Golem. Muddy! Oh my god, dude. Muddy might win the game here. The slow. He's slowing him over and over. Oh, but Lich is coming. Lich is coming across the map. The ghouls threatening the Archmage as well. Oh my god, the DK is gonna die. Oh my god. Archmage has 20 HP. Lich is coming. Everything's being slowed down. Level 5! No way, dude. No, don't run into Nova range, dude. Yeah, 40 wins this. The footies are taking out all the buildings. Oh my god. The Mud Golem is the winner of this game. Yeah, only 4 buildings left for 1-0. He doesn't have an Acolyte anymore. That's it. GG with 7 supply in the end. Sick. 2-2. Fortitude ties it up, man. What a series so far. Pretty crazy. Man, oh man. I was worried that this might be a clear stomp in favor of 1-0, but no sir, it is not. Yeah, these games are always super weird. It's so hard to make the right calls on the fly. Both players having to improvise there. But very fun to see. Very unusual scenario. Alright, for map number 5, we are going to Last Refuge, which I still maintain is one of the best maps for human. If you want to take a bit of a risk, you can even go for the Merc Camp creep first. And I think most of the time it's worth it, because again, almost every undead always nowadays plays a ghoul build, most of the time with a fast expo. Forty needs a minute here to gather his thoughts. Historically, between the two, it is a 77% win rate for 1-0. Clearly having had the upper hand. But as mentioned earlier, their last encounter, which was in August, did go to Fortitude. What are we gonna see next? We saw a DK, we saw a Lich, we saw fast expansions. Are we gonna see perhaps a Crypt Lord or a Dreadlord? I don't really think so. Those two heroes are much weaker than the other two in the altar, especially the Dreadlord. Pretty weak hero overall. But it's a fun one. Alright, 40 is almost back with us. In a minute or two, we'll be ready to go. Tomorrow, by the way, the Doubi Cup continues with Moon versus Lawlight and Kaho versus Soen. And then the day after, we're going to have Colorful versus 1-0 and Moon versus Fortitude. Those, I think, are also going to be great games. Then we're going to have a bit of a break on the Doubi Cup. Thursday is going to be the last day of this week for the Doubi Cup, which is then going to continue next week. And on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to have the Show Cup continuing as well, with Happy once again being in the saddle, being challenged by the rest. All right, players ready now. We're going to be loading in a moment. Last Refuge for the next map. DK Fast Expo, definitely weaker than Lich Fast Expo. 1-0 trying that out once on Echo Isles. I think he's going to go back to the Lich here if he does want to fast expand, which very much seems to be in line with his playstyle. Oh, wow. Okay. First time today, and maybe the only time today, we see a different build by 1-0. This is the old school Ted Fiend build. DK first, fast tech, 3 ghouls only into Fiends. This is especially good to harass a Merc camp first. Perhaps 1-0 is feeling certain that Fortitude is going to go for the Merc camp creep first, and he wants to harass it with a DK right away. But even if the Death Knight shows up, if the human plays it perfectly, he can deal with the harass in an okay manner. The only really painful thing is if the Acolyte steals the Shadow Priest, and then the Shadow Priest dispel the Watch Elementals. But in that case, if the Archmage sees the Acolyte scout early, he can just decide not to creep this camp, because if the Acolyte is here scouting, normally he's not expanding. You know, that's how usually it would work out. Okay. But the footy is not going to be pulling the Merc camp. It's rather going to be scouting. So, no early mercenary creep for Fortitude. So this is going to be an old school kind of game. One base undead, non-stop pressure against the undead against the human expansion, while the human is trying to tech up, get tier 3 and build the big army. This is pre-Lich first meta. And pre-Crypt Lord first meta. Tech begins. That's the big upside of this build. You start the tier 2 very early with the Tet Fiends. And then we'll be transitioning into Fiends slowly, one at a time. But once you get to 50 supply, Fiend army is very strong. Fortitude with some very bad early game items. But will be good later on the MK. What is there? Not harassing yet. Okay, it's gonna do it now. Level 2 DK. Running across the map. But there's no Nova. There's no ghouls. So this should be easier to hold. Wow, he's creeping this camp as well? Fortitude is being left alone for a really long time here. Panic building a tower. I don't know if that's necessary. Alright, here comes the DK. Quite hurt already. Last skeleton was just used. And of course the peasants now gonna be the target right away. Oh, the denies not working out too well here.
Players' forces are under attack.
Alright, 2 peasants go down. That's not bad at all. But Fortitude to start building the expansion pretty late. He's still not building it. He's making more footies. I feel like he's making way too many footies. He's overreacting with the tower. This expansion could have been started way sooner.
A player's forces are under attack.
BK returning now with Fiends. This is where things get more dangerous. Archmage still on level 3. This is a big upside of creeping this camp as the undead. In fact, the Archmage doesn't get it. Doesn't get the level 3 here. Now the footies can threaten surrounds. But 1-0 kiting well, obviously. Low HP on the DK, but the replenishment potion is a very nice find that he can use soon to recover health again.
Forces are under attack.
Fortitude needs to start the tech soon. Very soon. And there we go. Tier 2 begins for him. 1-0 going to follow up with Tier 3 here in a moment. Having no level 2 water elementals. It's quite painful indeed. For 40 here. He's trying to get it now with a footy creeping. That's nice. I like that. The peasants are exposed. One goes down.
A player's forces are under attack. A town is under siege.
And the footy's trying to go for the counterattack. Archmage also taking lots of damage. Oh, if he has a TP out here, this is gonna totally expose the expansion. Yakin Tower micro not perfect at all. Ooh, and now the expansion laid bare. There wasn't even a tech going on. These footies definitely not in the wrong way. I think after creeping this camp, after getting level 3, they had to get back to the expansion. But they didn't. The tower fell and now everything is super exposed. AM also very low HP. And statues are coming and they're gonna make things quite a bit more difficult. Okay, also about to reach level 3 here. Fortitude in serious trouble. Needs to get the shop up quick. Daytime now. Red Camp wakes up. Archmage falls. And that's game. There's no way to come back from this. Tech is still super far away. There's no towers at the expo. This is a desperate situation. And Fortitude calls it. GG. And 1-0 again takes the lead. This game also looking very one-sided. Yeah, Fortitude, I think they're way too late with the expansion. He panicked super hard, making lots of footies, making an early tower. This is kind of what you do when you expect lots of ghoul pressure to come in. But of course, it was a Ted Fiend build. So there's no ghoul pressure at all early game. And also, I wonder if perhaps the creep route could have been better for the AM to get level 3. We'd like to see more scouting, certainly, to see when the DK would be approaching. But Fortitude has managed so far twice to tie up the series. We'll see if he can manage that again. What is there now on match point? He could close it out on Autumn Leaves. What are we gonna see here? Lich Fast expansion has looked very good here in the past. Lich Fast Expo in the middle, and then you're in an aggressive position already to run across the map. But there's so many different strats 1-0 can choose from. This is something that really benefits him. 1-0 has always been a very strategical player. In the past, it seemed like the undead meta was very set in stone and he could only do very few things. But nowadays, there's lots of different things that the players can go for. It is going to be a ghoul build once again. Isn't this farm a bit late? Isn't the Archmage gonna be late? We'll see. Not really. It works out nicely. It's the Archmage once again. Fortitude, we've seen that plenty of times before. Mostly a by-the-book kind of player. Rarely MK first. Rarely Pally first. He normally sticks with what's reliable. What seems most prudent. And 1-0 again we have the Lich.
Is under siege.
Acolyte scouting. Oh, is he not going to expand?
A player's forces are under attack.
He doesn't have another acolyte to actually start the expo. But I guess this one might just run back. Okay. That should then be sufficient. First, 1-0 going to creep the green camp. Archmage doing the same. Circuit for him. Very good start. And now, is 40 going to expand or not? Seems like he will. Over in the corner.
A player's forces are under attack.
5 militia called. That should work out well enough. Very good footy scouting. You always want to have one footy close to the undead army to see where it's going, to know where the attack is going to be coming from. Cloak on the Lich could be helpful to hide in the shadows, perhaps. And honestly, use a lot of mana here. So not that many Novas right from the start. And again, 40 delaying the expansion by a bit, going for a tower first, making more peasants, making more footies. Even buying a circlet. He sold the other item, I guess.
Players' forces are under attack.
Oh, and what is there going for? A two-pronged attack. 2 ghouls towards the expansion and Lich into the main. One peasant falls. You want to prevent experience as much as you can here on both sides. Level 3, of course, is going to be a huge deal for both players. And this is a lot of time that's being bought here by 1-0. But good defense also. Fortitude, minimizing the losses. Needs to set up this expansion, though. Finally. There we go. On to gold mine, halfway finished. Even more than that.
A player's forces are under attack.
Power build gonna take a little less than a minute from now. And more peasants. 40 wants to make sure he's got lots of lumber. He wants to start this tech soon. I think he should cut footy production here for a bit. He's got 6 footies right now. That should be decent enough. I guess he's got enough lumber. Concern here... I mean, enough gold. Concern is the lumber to start the tech. The tech timing to tier 2 is such a big deal. Giant deal. Archmage trying to get level 3. Is this camp enough? I don't think it is it? It shouldn't be. Not quite. Lich getting ready to get attacked. That's one more footy kill. Alright, now the expansion. Finally mining. Militia called out to the green to get that level 3. And now 40 needs to tech. 1-0. Already teching.
Forces are under attack.
Oh, and now we're gonna have a counter attack on both sides. Ghouls towards the expansion and footies towards the expansion. Who's that better for? We'll see about that. Which in the main base. Oh, and no tech. No tech for 40. That's the most painful thing here. Oh, the ghoul's doing a lot of damage. But Fortitude might be able to take out the Haunted Gold Mine. I think he will, right? This should be too much footy damage. Interesting position. Oh, big Nova from the Lich as well. Taking out lots of peasants over here. The ghouls, of course. Taking out the peasants over at the expansion. Tech has now started for Fortitude. He took out the Haunted. 40 still has his own expansion. And we can see the power of level 2 Watch Elementals against ghouls. Very effective. The Lich are still defending by themselves. The Lich extremely hurt. No mana at the moment for Nova, but you will have it again soon. The footy counterattack. We saw it be very successful earlier on. And this might be another occasion. Oh my god, it's slaughter. It's such a slaughter. Lich is almost level 4. Archmage in the meantime. Oh my god, dude, what is happening this game? All the peasants are dead. All the peasants are dead. Maybe 40 should have TP'd home after getting the expo kill. The tower. Oh my god. There's still 2 militia here against the creeps. Oh my god, dude. What is even going on? Archmage also almost level 4. The tower's trying to deal with the footies, but that's not so easy. Everyone's super broke. Wait, never mind. 1-0 has lots of gold, actually. And he reaches tier 2. Peasants repairing the tower. He's running out of gold for the repair. No more gold. This is ridiculous. Lich in the middle. He's low HP, though. Archmage did get the level 4. Double circlet and the boots. Militia called again. Forcing back the ghouls. Ghouls hurt absolutely everywhere. But now he can eat the acolyte. Oh! Cloak! Oh my god. Oh. Lich dies! He ate the acolyte, but he died! Mining still at the expansion. Lots of ghouls died there. Alright, 40. You got this. Maybe? Well, who's to say? This game's crazy. He needs like 340 gold, I think, for the revive, right? Yeah. Okay. Town Hall has fallen. But the Archmage's gonna get at least 2 ghoul kills here. He's gonna get them all. He's gonna get level 5, dude. Oh my god. Alright, Lich takes 2 minutes. The shop was killed as well, by the way. No graveyard. Absolutely bananas. $10 supply for Fortitude. He may want to try to take out this altar, but I don't believe he has the damage. Certainly has the damage to take out the ghouls. Oh, that's one more kill. 1 ghoul and 1 acolyte will be enough for level 5. Still no graveyard for 1-0. He can't go for Slaughterhouse. Graveyard coming now, finally. Alright, Lich is coming out. The thing is, 1-0 can play a DK soon. And Fortitude is stuck on tier 1. Alright, the ghouls bought the time. The Lich is ready. He can go for a lot of Necromancy and Dark Ritual here in just a second. And that is gonna be so strong. As you can see, the mana from the Dark Ritual, once again, extremely strong. Graveyard is in fact gonna be cancelled. Oh, 1 more kill for level 5. Boom! He got it! Level 5 Archmage, dude. Level 3 Water Elementals. On tier 1. But the Lich now again has endless mana. Oh, nice Nova. Damage on the AM and the footy. Some ghouls again at the expansion. We have no footies at all to defend here. And Lich now almost level 5 as well. Yep, there we go. He killed 2 more peasants. That's level 5. And now he's got level 3 Nova. And this must be game.
A town is under siege.
Archmage also very hurt. Still. No shop. Can't heal. It's coming now. But being stuck on tier 1 here, that's the biggest problem. Finally, Bootsman Lich. Uh-oh, this Archmage. He seems to be dead. He's got a TP still. Oh my god. He just barely gets away. Run! No running anymore. No hiding anymore. Archmage is dead. And the game is over. The new town hall was also spotted. That's it. GG. Valiant effort. Good try by Fortitude. Some really nice games in here. Some really crazy games as well. But in the end, it goes to 1-0. Fortitude 1-0 remains undefeated. And we're going to have another undefeated undead coming up next. Happy versus Colorful going to be our next game. And that is going to come up after the break. Quick break right here, boys. And then we'll be back in a few minutes for Colorful versus Happy coming up next. See you in a bit.